Something exciting is happening at Arise Play.
Then we got them high beats, so who wanna try to take
You know what time it is? Close everything down.
Forgot my phone.
Scatbrain.
Did you miss it? Look again.
Amazing!
Got you.
Why do I have to see a shrink? I mean, the only thing crazy about me is my skills.
And the fact that you still live with your mom.
Look again.
Hello, Auntie. So good to see you, huh? Yeah.
Ready to see you now.
Download the app and subscribe. This isn't just a streaming channel. This is a bold new world of entertainment. Arise Play. Beyond streaming.
Arise Plays Movie Box and Indie View Festival Lagos announces the September winner of the short films competition, Convictus.
Young guys is here. Let's go.
Stream this and other winning short films exclusively on Arise Play. Arise Play's Movie Box and Indie View Lagos are inviting content creators across the continent and diaspora to submit their short film to the competition and give it the visibility it deserves. What are you waiting for? Winners are selected every month. Visit at Arise Play and at Indie View Lagos on Instagram to submit your entry. Arise Play. Beyond streaming.
Every moment matters. Every decision. Every moment of courage. Every act of kindness. Every declaration of war is made by someone, somewhere. Arise Newsnight analyzes the decisions that affect all of our lives.
A very warm welcome to you. This is Newsnight. Every night, we bring you the moments that matter, from the top to the bottom, and in every corner of our country. We bring you a focused agenda from Nigeria, Africa, and beyond. Focus on what's important with Arise Newsnight.
Welcome to this week, 60 minutes of analytical review of the big stories, topical issues and all the controversies around the world. I'm Somna Sambo. In the headlines, allegations of forgery and impersonation rocks the Labour Party as national youth leader is suspended, but more drama as the youth leader Anson Meragbe petitions EFCC and Labour unions, vows to fight national chairman Julius Abure to a standstill. And the All Progressives Congress unveils 80-page policy document to reposition Nigeria to the path of greatness. Top on the priority list of the presidential candidate Bola Tinubu are national security, economy, agriculture, power, oil and gas, and education. We'll have a review of the document. There seems to be an uneasy camp in the Labour Party over the suspension of the national youth leader Anson Meragbe over allegations bordering on forgery, opening of an illegal donation website, and acts of insubordination. Now, the Labour Party, apparently in a move to show Nigerians what to expect in fighting corruption if it wins the 2023 elections, has slammed a 6-month suspension on the national youth leader for acts capable of compromising the integrity of the party, according to officials. The National Publicity Secretary of the party, Abayomi Arabambi, in a statement explains that the Labour Party national youth leader Anson Meragbe was suspended for various acts bordering on criminality. Arabambi says Meragbe was suspended after internal investigations found him culpable of offences which include forgery, impersonation, and illegally launching a fund mobilization website to receive funds without the approval of the National Working Committee or the national chairman. But the man in question has denied the allegations. Anson Meragbe says he has in turn petitioned President Muhammadu Buhari, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, trade union leaders, and the Labour Party National Executive Council, describing his sanction as illegal. Anson says he remains the national youth leader of the Labour Party, contrary to what was said, and is prepared to mobilize Nigerian youths to vehemently resist the national chairman's attempt to impose or parade anyone else as the acting national youth leader of the Labour Party. And joining us now in the studio is Anson Meragbe, who is the man in the eye of the storm. He is to explain the position of things in the party. Welcome, Anson.
Thank you, Mr. Sumner.
Yes, and
Meragbe Anson, National Youth Leader, Labour Party.
I mean, we've seen all of this.
And they do not senatorial candidate.
Yes, you are still insisting that you are the National Youth Leader, despite the suspension letter, which was read out by the National Secretary of the party, and then, of course, a statement issued by the National Publicity Secretary, Abayomi Arabambi. What's giving you that confidence that you still remain the National Youth Leader of the party?
Oh, basically, there are rules and there are regulations. We are guided by the rules in the party's constitution with respect to how an officer can be removed from office. I'm a National Working Committee member of Labour Party, and the law says in Article 17B that a national officer, I will read for explicit, so that this is the law quickly, removal from office. Now, Article 17.2, any other national officer or officers of the party may be removed by 2/3 majority of the votes cast by members at a convention or National Executive Council. Of course, it is within the right of the national chairman to refer any member of the party, let alone a National Working Committee member, to a disciplinary committee, because it's a standing committee. Once there are allegations, it doesn't matter whether they are true or false, you'll be referred. So I was referred on 5-count charges. Now, I made my presentation
before the
committee. So what is expected is the committee will send its report to the national chairman. And the national chairman, if he desires to remove me from office, will send such a report to the National Executive Council. This or the convention. But this time around, no more the National Working Committee, because the National Executive Council embodies the state executive, chairman, secretary, all of us in the National Working Committee, and other stakeholders, our presidential candidates, and so many other stakeholders, the NLC, the TUC, these are the structures.
Yeah, it's the second highest decision-making organ.
Second highest decision-making body of the organ, since we are at par at that level. I'm at par with the national chairman in the National Working Committee, except we have different functions. He's national chairman, I'm national youth leader. So ordinarily, what the chairman should have done, and what he needs to do, is refer whatever report you have from the committee to the National Executive Council, and they will take a decision. Of course, there again, I'll be present to defend whatever was presented, because as I speak, I do not have the evidence of the report, notwithstanding. So an illegality has been perpetrated here, and it will not stand.
Yeah, but the national chairman insists that that disciplinary committee actually did its job, and that for now you've been suspended, and that there were calls for your expulsion even, but the committee was gracious enough to say to say that you should be suspended instead for 6 months. And you have now gone ahead to say that you have sent a petition to the DSS, EFCC, including President Muhammadu Buhari, and you're petitioning the presidential candidate of the party to come into this issue. What response have you been getting?
Oh, so far so good. Like I said here, for the records, because I like to speak with facts, I have made this presentation to relevant authorities: the President of the Federal Republic, Mr. Peter Obi, Chairman Independent Electoral Commission, the DG SSS, Inspector General of Police, NSC, TUC, and the rest. Now, I've made a simple, this letter is addressed to the National Chairman of Labour Party through the National Secretary. Now, there are issues here. There's just one grouse. Iraqi Anslem is not above suspension or removal from office, but you must do it in accordance with the provision of law. Again, like I said, 5 issues were raised. Quickly, what are the issues? Let me read, because so that I don't misrepresent any of the facts. Now, the following allegations are levied against you by officials of the party. However, let me say this, that it is the national chairman himself that read out these allegations against me himself in the last NWC
Wasn't
meeting.
it a letter sent to you? Because
no
I'm
letter.
seeing your name, I mean,
Yeah,
on
I want
the
to explain this to say, even these allegations in the National Hockey Committee meeting, I didn't see any paper, but the national chairman himself, Barrister Julius Abure, read out these allegations by himself. But what is left to be seen is who are these national officers that put forth these allegations against me. That's another question. Quickly, convening illegal and unapproved youth summit. I have not convened the youth summit, even though it is within the purview of my rights and duties as the national youth leader of the Labour Party to so do. But notwithstanding, I have made a request for approval with recourse to the powers of the national youth, so the powers of the national chairman.
A request for approval
to who? Yes. A request for approval to hold the youth summit.
To who did you make that?
To the national chairman, Barrister Julius Abure.
But he said that, I mean, you went ahead to organize this without his consent.
Yeah, let me say this. You see, first, this is request for approval, 1. This is request for approval, October 7, 2. This is request for approval on the same youth summit, 3. They are different.
And what was his response? Was there a written response?
No written response, but there are written submissions to him. Now, it's expected ordinarily. We've had one-on-one interaction. I have followed up with these written positions, even to his WhatsApp, which can be verified. Now, I agreed, I've done all of this, but I know it is within the right of my office and duties to do such. But notwithstanding, I had written. But this last instance was a case where I had to put out the notice, notifying the national chairman and national hockey committee members, because we're going to have NWC meeting 12-13th. So we tentatively put out that information for 14-15, so that the NWC, in the course of our meeting, will finally make approval. But the chairman said I should call off that attended summit. Of course, I called it off. And there are proofs, evidences that are subsequently postponed that.
All right, the major
allegation. So the first allegation now is to say that I conveyed an illegal.
So you are saying you didn't convey?
I did not convey. Himself knows that.
Okay, how about the accusation that you were collecting monies from donors and you forged the signature of the national chairman and national secretary?
Yeah. What is important here is, quickly, let me deal with the issue of forgery. Now, the laws of the party constitution under the office of the national youth leader. I like to read for the public for clarity. Quickly, powers and functions of national officers, national youth leader, section 14, page 30 of the Labour Party constitution. It says, the national youth leader shall be responsible for mobilization of youth for the attainment of party objective. This second one is most interesting. The national youth leader shall initiate and implement strategic programs and policies that would endear the party to Nigerian youth. 3, the national organizing secretary shall liaise with the national women and youth leader for harmonization of programs for attainment of party victory at all levels. But quickly, Now, the law had envisaged that there are a lot of things that are not contained within it. So, but if that happens, the national youth leader shall be able to initiate and implement. The law in itself is an approving institution and authority for the national youth leader on these matters. Notwithstanding, I had made all requisitions by way of written proposals to the chairman.
Including opening a website where you're receiving money as donations.
Let me quickly come to that. Now, the website, which is a strategic policy of the party to endear Nigeria youth to the, which is what I did. What did we do? We made a presentation on the 27th of June, 2022, in the National Working Committee meeting at Barcelona Hotel, Wuse to Abuja. I made a presentation of this website and the strategy to raise funds for party activities. And I suggested to leadership, all of us, let us open account, dedicated account for what's it called? Donations to be placed on that platform so that diaspora Nigerians who may wish to remit funds to support Labour Party and a presidential candidate can do so seamlessly. It's a global practice. Now, this presentation...
Was it with the chairman's approval?
Yes, that's what I'm saying now. With the chairman's approval. Now, this same presentation, on the same day, the national chairman set up a 3-man committee to work with me to understudy this solution I was deploying. Now, it's on record. I pleaded with the committee because there was no solution at the material time except for the algorithm. But what we will do, let the ICT team continue to develop the system. Each time they develop any of the solution complete, we will now sit down and look at it. Now, we began to do that. Quickly, we came to a point where at the onset, it was only my signature and name that was contained in the membership card and the support group registration certificate. The chairman called before a technical session to say, the youth leader, remove your name, remove your picture, remove your signature, put my signature and the secretary's signature on, which is the normal practice.
That's the signature of the national chairman and the national secretary of Labour Party.
On that membership card on the website and the support group registration certificate. Of course, I knew that's the process, but until it came from him, that's why I did not put it at the onset. Now, when he said that, now the deputy national secretary, today Kennedy Ahanotu, who is a member of the technical committee that was eventually set up on a later date with me and other IT savvy people and experts, delivered this card.
Yeah, I can see a signature there with, that's a signature for national chairman and signature for national secretary. But there's no passport or
There
names.
is no passport. Now, this is a typical card. Now, our presidential candidate launched this card, free cards, when we had the Labour Party retreat. I like to present evidences. We had this retreat on the 12th and 13th at Chida Hotel. The cards that he launched, the free cards, this is one of the extracts of those cards, and this is the signature in that card. So it is this card that the Deputy National Secretary gave to my ICT team to extract this signature. So it was this signature, the two of them.
Is it through a scan?
No, this is the hard copy.
Or somebody signed?
No, this is the very hard copy. The Deputy National Secretary, Kennedy Ahanotu, gave to my ICT team so that they could scan and put on the signature spaces for national chairman.
Not that you signed
not that I signed
document.
it. So when you look at, I did not sign. These things were just scanned and extracted and placed in the place for national chairman.
Because the allegation is that you forged
because
it.
This is the point now, because the world needs to know that this is the very card. It is membership card number 0042969, Taraba State, REV 2014REG.
So how do we know? I mean, what kind of evidence can you produce to say that this same Kennedy you're talking about handed you this card? Because your party is saying, your party's leadership is saying that you forged, and of course by saying forging, by my own understanding is that you actually copied and signed this same signature.
See, I think by the grace of God, I'm old and experienced in this game. And I know at what point you don't tamper with any man's document or signature. I just gave the instance as to why I had to use only my name and signature, because I know the implication. Until the national chairman, Barrister Julius Aburi, instructed the deputy national secretary, whom today is parading as the acting national youth leader, to give me a card. And he gave me this particular card, this one, from where the director of the national youth leader ICT team is Engineer Umar. Now, I will give you Engineer Umar's phone number and the word to contact him and my ICT team. So this card was given to them. They scanned this card, extracted this chairman's signature and this secretary's signature and placed on those spaces. Now, across the world, when you log on to the Labour Party National Mobilization website and register, for support group, you have an acknowledgement of registration or a certificate that comes with these two signatures for chairman and secretary. For membership card, this same card was redesigned and replicated. So these signatures come
right.
with, but until 3 days ago, when the national secretary drew my attention, to the fact that, oh, they noticed that the signature here are not that of the incumbent chairman and secretary. And he now looked at me and said, oh, this is the signature of the late chairman. And I said, well, the deputy, your assistant, deputy gave it to me, but it's not an issue.
So it's even the signature of the late chairman.
It's the signature of the late chairman.
Not yes, the current one.
Not the current one.
I think Salami.
Yeah. It was even the national secretary, Alhaji Ibrahim Umar Farouk, 3 days ago, in the presence of other ICT, technical team in his office. I just walked into the office by coincidence.
So what you are saying here is that the allegation is false, that you forged that document.
False and baseless.
Okay, how about the issues of funds? Are there any Labour Party funds that have found your ways to your own account?
No.
As we try to round off this conversation.
No, quickly on the issue of funds. Like I said, let's speak with facts. Now, I developed the policy document for the National Youth Leader Directorate for National Mobilization for 2023. The ICT solution, the grassroots actions, and all of this. Now, this document exists in 3 pages. This is the only document. This is the only...
And this is addressed to...
Yeah, this is addressed to Barrister Julius Abure, National Chairman, Labour Party, and this is the original copy given to Barrister Julius Abure, National Chairman. This letter was acknowledged by his personal assistant. The original copy I gave...
Success.
Yes, success,
Amazing.
yes,
Okay.
success favor. Now, this letter is with the National Chairman.
Okay.
And the original copy I delivered to him myself. Now, this secretary acknowledged this. Now, what does it say? Request for courtesy call and solicitation of support for the implementation of strategic programs and policies that will engage Nigeria youth towards the national mobilization for our presidential candidate, Mr. Peter Obi, and Vice President Senator Yusuf Dati, are delivering a minimum of 45 million votes for the 2023 general elections.
So in other words, all of the setting up of the website and all those seeking for donations were actually targeted at boosting
the Labour parties and our presidential candidate endeavor.
So did you at any time send out your account numbers where people paid monies into your own account?
No. So no, I have not received any dime from anybody. Now, like I said, if you look at this proposal, the world needs to know there is no account number on this proposal. Because I knew if it was ever approved, now the leadership will be aware. So Barrister Julius Abure has followed me to this point to agree on everything written here to be funded.
Okay.
And the account, the account on the website is the Labour Party's fundraising account, not Iraq.
With which bank?
With Zenith Bank. Go to the website.
Okay, so
Labour
in all
Party
of this, very quickly now,
yes,
before we let you go, despite all you have said and shown here and your petitions, the Labour Party says you remain suspended. An acting national youth leader has been appointed. What do you intend to do next?
Oh, basically, like I said, there is illegality here, and the world needs to hear it loud and clear. If Barrister Julius, like I said, he boasted before other National Working Committee members and before other people, living witnesses, he said, he will suspend me and heaven will not fall. That's an outright. He said that there are many alive witnesses. So what is happening now is a manifestation of his utterance and boast that he, Barrister Julius Abure, will suspend me, Meragbe, as the national leader, and heavens will not fall. So
coincidentally, both of you are from the same state, Edo State.
Definitely, he has played out that threat. So, but what I'm saying now, by the grace of God, like I say, I don't intend to make trouble, but I have written to relevant authorities in Nigeria, the president and security agencies, more so that I have not been treated rightly because he has told the wrong part because of this desperation. So all he needs to do for there to be cordialities, the same way he instructed the National Secretary to write me a letter, kindly just instruct National Secretary, I've just realized I made a mistake by not going to the right channel, rewrite that letter, and it's over. Then he cannot go to NEC and get extract commitment.
Good enough for you. On the party's website, your name is still there as National Youth Leader. So something can be done. Is there anything Peter Obi and the Vice Presidential candidate Yusuf Dati can do about this?
Yes, sir. Basically,
because in all this fight, you are spoiling their chances of emerging as probable winners of the election.
I agree with you. It pains my heart that this is happening. because I have spent virtually all my life energy, day and night, for this cause. And I haven't worked this hard to see what I'm going through. It makes it more sad. I'm very sad. So now the good news is, our presidential candidate, Mr. Peter Obi, Senator Yusuf Dati, vice presidential candidate, the chief of staff of our presidential candidate, the DG campaign organization, have my correspondences on a daily basis. They have them.
So why didn't you communicate with them? Why did you have to write to President Buhari,
like I said,
EFCC, DSS?
I needed to do that because, like I said, every bit of this information is on their phones. I communicate.
I've
equally sent a personal, I did a personal call, I sent personal SMS and WhatsApp message to our presidential candidate about a day before all this happened.
And nothing has happened.
Nothing has happened. But the world needs to know that I have reached out to the presidential candidate. He should check his phone. My missed call, check his SMS, check his WhatsApp.
Well,
for his intervention. He still needs to intervene now.
Will be resolved by the elders of the party before it gets out of hand. We must thank you so much. Anson Meragbe is the suspended national youth leader of the party, but he's insisting that he's the national youth leader of the party. And of course, when we just checked the website not quite long ago, it was still reading that you are the national youth leader of the party. But the party says that there's an acting national youth leader. Well, we'll just go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll just hear from the other side on this issue. Stay with us.
Are you struggling with a health challenge? Do you need financial help to access treatment?
I'm tired of trying. I need help. I want to try IVF. I know it's expensive.
Apply now for MHSS, the Maternal Health Service Support, a discounted loan by the W Initiative of Access Bank. For more information, visit our website on www.thewcommunity.com or any Access Bank branch nationwide. You can also send an email to wcares@accessbankplc.com. Terms and conditions apply. The MHSS has successfully financed hundreds of health procedures.
The next one could be yours.
Our music is one of our greatest exports, but our wildlife could be another great industry if we protect it for future generations. Right now, it's threatened by illegal wildlife trade. So please, report wildlife crime and say no to illegal bushmeat. Because poaching steals from us all.
Here's a card we no go give you stress at all. Zero waiting, zero queue. First Bank is Petra card. Here's a card we no go give you wahala. Zero trouble now for you. First Bank is Petra card. Tell off his spoiler. Who won't break them? Where you want say now only you get them. Nothing fit do one. Sharp, sharp payment not the way. Swipe they go, you know the way. Veteran card with the sweet body. Veteran card we know the shape person. We put you first again. First banking veteran card we put you first again. Generate your virtual card we put you first again. First banking virtual card we put you first again. Just generate your virtual card, yeah.
Till the world hears your voice. Till you take over the world.
Airtel, they'll be giving you a 500,000 naira educational scholarship for Zita.
Wow! Yes! This is amazing.
Airtel wants to rent a provision shop for 1 year. They'll stock it for you.
Hey, God! Hey! Who am I to deserve all these things? Who am I?
It's not over, it only just.
So we'll be doing minor refurbishment of the Mojisola Balogun Rehabilitation Center.
Than you've ever been. Take your chances.
Welcome back from the break. Now, the Labour Party says it is seeking the prayers of Nigerians ahead of the 2023 elections because the party is under attack from different angles. The national chairman of the party, Julius Abure, said this at a function in Abuja.
We're already under serious attacks. Our followers are under attacks. And just yesterday, we were telling ourselves that we are going to go public to appeal to Nigerians and religious leaders to pray for us. 3 days back, the presidential candidate and the vice presidential candidate were in Kaduna to attend to a function. Our followers who came from Zaria on their way back were involved in an accident. And about 3 or 4 of our members died. Others are hospitalized in the hospital.
Well, chairman of the Labour Party speaking there. But let's talk more about the internal issues affecting the party and the earlier allegations. Joining us now is Kennedy Ahanotu, who is the acting national youth leader of the Labour Party, appointed by the National Working Committee led by the national chairman. Kennedy, so good to have you here.
Thank you, Sambo.
Let's talk about these issues raised. You've seen Anson Meragbe here talking to us that he still remains the national youth leader of the party. There are allegations, and one of them actually borders on you, that you gave him a card that had the signature of, he said, the late national chairman of the party, Salami, and then, of course, another, the secretary. What is the true situation? Because based on that card that you gave to him, he's been accused of forging the national party's chairman's signature and that of the secretary too.
The onus lies on whoever that accuses or alleges to prove. Until this allegation is proven, I would rather not say anything because it's laughable. One, as a person, I've distributed nothing less than 100,000 membership cards of the party. It's a public document. Anybody can pick it up from anywhere. So you can't say giving you a signature of the national chairman means I'm giving you the hand of the national chairman. And I'm a deputy national secretary, for goodness sake.
Yeah, before your appointment.
Before my appointment as acting national secretary. I don't even have the authority to give the signature of the national chairman of a political party. I don't have that authority. But I have the authority as a party leader, as a party member, to convert people to become Labour Party members. Hence, I am free to distribute membership card. Even today, I have distributed so many. So how can somebody now say because I gave him a membership card, maybe he requested form, I can't even remember.
But did you or did you not hand him a membership card?
Many of my colleagues in the National Working Committee do come to me to pick some copies of membership cards. So you can't accuse me or allege that because I gave you party membership card. If that is the case, that means all Nigerians, all our members, now have a case against me that I've given them the signature of the national chairman. So that is a baseless position. I don't see it standing anywhere.
And let's talk about the position of national youth leader now. So have you agreed that you are the acting national youth leader of the party? Because Anson is still insisting that the national chairman was wrong to have removed him, that he still remains the national youth leader.
We are a democratic political party. And if there is any infringement on your rights, you take the necessary actions. And there are processes to, solve every internal party issues. So he is more experienced. He's my senior, far more senior than me. So he has more experience. He knows what to do. And he knows the processes. Constitutionally, party have appointed me. And I don't want this to look as if I'm desperate about this. Party gave him a letter telling him to step aside, pending when NEC is convened, who will now put final ratification on this issue. And the party was lenient enough to have appointed an internal person that is already in the National Working Committee to hold brief. He has tried, he has done well, and this is what we need to learn in this part of the world. Leadership is transient. It may not be a lifetime affair. When there is a protocol that is being in place, you have to first of all, as a member of that institution, respect it.
Yeah, but can the national chairman suspend a member of the National Working Committee?
Our constitution.
Since all of you were elected at the same convention ground.
We are elected and he made the national chairman. Why am I not the national chairman? And our constitution says that the national chairman shall provide leadership. The constitution
when
of the
it comes
party,
to the issue of disciplining members,
discipline,
there's a provision for NEC
disciplining member
to be the one that will take the final decision.
I don't want to wade so much into this because a party has a position. And anybody that is countering or trying to disregard that position should take necessary actions that they need to take against the party. It's so simple. We don't even need to spend more time. We need to spend time showing Nigerians flood areas that people are suffering, not to talk about this. As I have a letter from the National Working Committee to act for the period of 6 months. Why did they do that? Since there are some of these issues that they have discovered about our SY national leader, they felt that it's better he concentrates on his elections while the party moves on with this election.
Yeah, but he still remains this
senatorial candidate. The party didn't remove
the party didn't take that away from him.
He's a member of the party. The party just said, please, step aside from this your leadership position. Pending, they've not expelled him from the party. Pending when the statutory, if you read that letter, I don't know if he gave you the letter.
Yeah, I mean,
pending when
it is, the NEC will take a final decision.
Thank you, sir. The relevant organs of the party will, within the period, meet to ratify the full recommendation of the disciplinary committee.
And what if NEC doesn't ratify the position to go alongside the position of the national chairman?
The Labour Party, even before I joined the Labour Party, I took time to study many political parties in Nigeria. Labour Party believes in process, protocols, and principles. By that 6 months, I can assure you that the NEC must have met.
Okay. Don't you think all of this will affect the chances of the presidential candidate of the party and his vice presidential candidate? I mean, because Nigerians are looking up to the Labour Party to be different from PDP, APC, and all of that. But why does it look like? I mean, you guys are not well coordinated in the leadership of the party, and this may be affecting the chances of the presidential candidate.
Let me correct an impression here. The P2B emergence is a mandate of Nigerians. If you come to Labour Party today, they call Labour Party the obedient movement. That should tell you something.
Isn't the obedient movement different from the Labour Party
if you come to Labour Party today, they call them obedient movement. That should interpret something to you, that the obedient movement started when His Excellency Mr. P2B joined the Labour Party. And these are decisions made by Nigerians both home and in the diaspora. Anything, Labour Party is just privilege. We welcome him with full chest because we saw the credibility, the competence, the age, the intellect, everything that is required to have a good president. We saw it in him. So we are even happy and privileged. And that is what is making Labour Party a pride.
Yeah, but this infighting is affecting his own chances.
It can't affect very his quickly. Chances, I can assure you.
You think so?
It can never.
That other political parties cannot latch on this and say that the Labour Party is disorganized?
Propaganda has been going on, but the concentration is on the personality of P2B. I can assure you that what has happened will never in any way affect His Excellency Mr. P2B from emerging the president of Nigeria come 2023.
So how do you resolve this issue? Is there any a platform you're going to put together separately so that this issue can be resolved? Because he has now petitioned the DSS, the presidency, and everywhere. How do you? Is there no other mechanism or elders of the party that can be involved so that this is quickly resolved?
Sambo, I've mentioned something to you. If you belong to an institution, you must abide by the principles that is obtainable in that institution. Once an infringement is observed, what you need to do is quietly approach that institution. And I saw that letter. Is Muhammadu Buhari a member of Labour Party? Can Muhammadu Buhari call our national chairman to order constitutionally? No. So the highest place he would have gone is to go to the court, a meeting point for the common man, and seek redress.
We must thank you so much. Kennedy Ahanotu is the acting National Youth Leader of the Labour Party in the midst of the I mean, rumpus going on in that party. We can only wish all of you well and hope you resolve this issue pretty soon. Resolved. Well, we'll now go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll be discussing the issues happening in Nigeria's governing party, the All Progressives Congress, and the manifesto unveiled to Nigerians on Friday. Stay with us.
A reflection of the Nigerian never say die spirit. They never stay down. You're always thinking of how to improve. You're always thinking of how to move forward. My name is Emmanuel Ahimieho. I've been a civil engineer for 18 years. I'm the project manager of Obajana Kaba Road. The Obajana Kaba Road is 43 kilometers built completely of concrete pavement. We started work on December 2016. I remember when we came here, it was virtually lifeless. We're building a road that we know will need very minimal maintenance. It's a road that we don't need to rush back to in 5 years, trying to carry out major maintenance work. We don't need to import anything that we need on the road. They are all locally available materials. All the cement we use on this road is from Dangote Cement Factory, which is the largest cement factory in Africa. The sand is from the communities, so people from the community, they end up becoming suppliers. Imagine supplying sand for a 43-kilometer road. It's a lot of money. There are things I've learned from building this concrete road that I never knew 10 years ago. And to be able to lead those people to achieve something worthwhile, something that is of value to them, to the community, to people who have never met us, and I am positive that the road will outlast most of the people who are building the road. Along this road, you have up to 12 communities. People have the confidence to open shops. Why? Because, you know, someone is going through the road, they sell their things, they sell their goods. That is more money for them. We have a number of eateries now, and you want to buy foods along the road, you get fresh food, not food that are preserved, no. You get fresh food, so it is good for us and it's good for the community too. The road is a lot more safer now for everybody, including Halima, including other travelers. So they have better road, lesser crime, shorter journey times, so a lot of advantages. I've had people who go through the roads and they stop to just say, well done. We are proud of what is happening here. We're happy that this is going on in Nigeria in our time. We can see it. They are proud of it. I think it has brought life back to the communities. I feel very proud, extremely proud being a part of this project.
Welcome back from the break. Now, the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Tinubu, has released an 80-page policy document which highlights an 8-point agenda. Top on his priority list of action plans include national security, economy, agriculture, power, oil and gas, transportation and education. The 80-page document containing multi-sectoral policy options is tagged Renewed Hope 2023, Action Plan for a Better Nigeria. The APC presidential candidate also pledged to continue the massive social investment programs of the Buhari administration. Tinubu is promising huge investments in sports, entertainment and culture, youth empowerment and entrepreneurship to expand job opportunities for millions of Nigerian youths. The APC candidate says, having listened to the yearnings of Nigerians, he is emboldened to change their stories for good, the same way he did in Lagos State as governor for 8 years, while putting together the best team. He stated that the total transformation of Nigeria can be achieved building on the foundation laid by the present APC administration of President Muhammadu Buhari. And joining us to shed some light on what the APC is offering Nigerians, especially young people, are Aliu Audu, convener of the APC National Stakeholders Forum, who will be joining us from our Lagos studio. And of course, we have here in the studio Rilwan Okpanachi, who is a lawyer and Director General of the Ashwaju Project Beyond 2023. Thank you so much. And let's take a look at this document. Talk to us about it. How is it going to affect Nigerians?
Okay, thank you very much. This document, I must confess, that is a product of APC manifesto. It's in line with APC manifesto, and it indicates the direction Ashwaju's government will take. And the document is very comprehensive, is up to date, and the document addresses our challenges as it should be, and if well implemented, and of course we know of Ashwaju's capacity to implement the policy document, most of the problems we are facing in Nigeria today will be a thing of the past.
Now talk to us about the key aspects of this this manifesto that Nigerians are counting on. There's the issue of power, the issue of infrastructure and all of that. The criticism of President Muhammadu Buhari will also be inherited by the APC presidential candidate if indeed he wins. But how can Nigerians trust this document that's released by Bola Tinubu?
Yes, Nigeria should trust this document because this document is a reflection of Ashwaju's ideas. It's a reflection of Ashwaju's position before now. Ashwaju has been addressing most of the issues that are contained in this document. Most of the issues that are contained in this document. If you talk about federalism, you don't need anybody to tell you about Ashwaju's stance as far as federalism is concerned. When you talk about the need to provide infrastructure, you don't need anybody to tell you. When you talk about security, he's an experienced person in that sector. So what Ashwaju has done, what he did in Lagos State, and what he has been telling Nigeria over the years, even after leaving office, point to the fact that Ashwaju will implement this policy document as it should be implemented. So Nigeria should not have any reason to doubt Ashwaju because he has done it before and he will do it again, and he has been saying it. So it's not new to the issues that he has been talking about. He's talked about how to empower the youth. He talked about the fact that the youth will not just be the leaders of tomorrow, but they will be builders of today, that the youth will be actively involved in his government to understand the nation they are going to lead tomorrow. So everything about this policy document are things that Ashwaju has been discussing, and engaging in. If you are familiar with Ashwaju and are interested in what he says and what he does, you should know that this policy document is a true reflection of his thinking towards the problem of Nigerians. And
some Nigerians said that there are unrealistic projections of GDP growth. I mean, if you look at the GDP growth that the document seems to be postulating, that, I mean, they think is too ambitious. What do you have to say about that?
It has to be ambitious. Ashwaju as a president.
Over-ambitious.
No, it's not even, there's nothing like over-ambitious. Those who are criticizing it are being limited. Those who are criticizing it, are being limited by their own background. Ashwaju is somebody that is well experienced, somebody that had a very robust private sector experience, somebody who worked with an international oil company, with Deloitte, with Haskell. So he's coming from a different background that the people criticizing his document are not familiar with. He's coming from a background that is too sophisticated for them to understand. So there's nothing over-ambitious about the GDP. It is doable, and Ashwaju will do it. He has done it before. We have the resources, we have the potentials, both human and natural, to attain that GDP.
Yeah, but the document is short on where he will be getting the monies from. Where will the monies come from?
The money will come from within. Now, Ashwaju is talking about, diversifying the oil sector itself. There are lots of, areas in the oil sectors that are untapped. For instance, we have over 206 trillion cubic gas is reserved in Nigeria, proven, yet we are suffering in terms of electricity and water fuel. Asiwaju is going to diversify in such a way that Nigeria will take full advantage of that which we have. He's talking about, blocking loopholes. He's talking about widening the tax collection scope. One interesting thing about Asiwaju is saying that he's not going to increase tax burden because of the economic situation in the country. Rather, he will expand the scope, bringing more, widening the tax nets, bringing in more new taxpayers, and also introducing a luxury tax and other incentives that will encourage people to come out and pay their tax, just as it's been done in Lagos State. So he has this experience, he has this knowledge, and he has this capacity. What we need Nigerians to do is to trust in the ability of Asiwaju to deliver on his policy documents.
Well, I'm being told that we eventually have Aliyu Audu joining us from our Lagos studio. Thank you so much for joining us, Aliyu. Just talk to us about this document. Isn't it overambitious? I mean, if you look at the GDP projections, you look at some of the things that are being said there. I mean, I keep wondering, where would Tinubu get all the monies to achieve some of these things he has stated in this policy document, if he indeed becomes president?
All right. Good evening, Somna. Good evening, Nigerians. I don't think it is overambitious. I think it's a small mind, who do not understand the potentials of the Federal Republic of Nigeria that would say this. I mean, they say worse things in 1999-2000 when he rolled out his long-term plan, 25-year plan, and a lot of people, looked at, they went on, accusing him of all sorts. 22, 23 years down the line, and they look back and all they can say is that Asiwaju owns Lagos. He doesn't own Lagos. He just takes responsibility for Lagos. And that's exactly what he's done with this manifesto. I did tell you that this manifesto will be the point of, the turning point of progressive governance, the turning point of, political campaigns in Nigeria. This is a collector's item. Like, it's in many ways, a document that years to come, we'll look back to and say this was when, the national story turned around. And I'll tell you this, from the title, Renewed Hope, it's sort of married our manifesto of 2013, our APC formation manifesto that says a new party for a new Nigeria. It marries this with the hope. There was this emotion, that we sold to Nigerians when APC was formed. There are a lot of people, who don't understand what we've been through, come around now to say we had cheated on Nigeria and we deceived them. That's what a few other parties have tried to do. Because they actually thought we lied to Nigerians. So they think it's a script.
APC has become all promises cancelled. How are we sure that it won't be the same thing again if indeed Nigerians maybe entrust you with
I'll tell you why it is not. APC is not all promise council. I actually think that this document is what I personally christen this document as Asiwaju's pact with the citizens. This is a pact he is making, and I get it. There's a sprinkle of audacity, or what's it called now? Audacity. Some would think is arrogance. No, but it comes from the surety. It comes from the assurance that he has had over the years, that knowing that if you do the right thing, you will get the right result. He's coming at the back. He's not thinking of, he's not imagining things. He has done it before, and he's going to do it again. This document clearly shows you that Asiwaju, was never about becoming influential. He only wanted to be effective. And that's exactly what he's done. Just before I let you go, because you talked about the GDP budget. Let me quickly address one thing you said. You talked about the GDP budget. He is basing this GDP budget projections, which are very correct and decent, because they are basing it on the 2021 UNDP basement of our GDP at 440 billion US dollar. And if in 2022 we have grown by 10%, Asiwaju is clearly saying that in the next 5 years he anticipates 10% growth year on year year on year. And when you look at the details, he's not just talking about what he's going to do, he's telling you how he's going to do it, and he's putting metrics, and he's having confidence. I mean, the most intriguing part of this document for me is the part where he says by the end of 2023, we would have created about 2-point-something million jobs, which means that the Asiwaju I know already knows where those 2 million jobs are going to come from.
Okay.
And he's very honest and realistic.
We don't have enough time, but I just want you, Real One, just to add very quickly, what's in there for young people? Just very quickly in 30 seconds before we go.
One, the young people will have opportunity to own houses of their own, buy cars at their own time, because government is going to create incentives for banks to give loans. And in fact, the government, the housing authorities in Nigeria are going to be reformed in such a way that
well, that's another ambitious statement there. But gentlemen, unfortunately, we don't have enough time. I've been told that we just have to end at this point. Well, that's a wrap on this week, where we have provided deeper insights into some of the biggest stories that made the headline during the week. On behalf of our team here in Abuja, Lagos, and London, thanks for watching, and see you next week. I'm Anson Meragbe.